All right, here we are. Figure it out.
Here we are, special episode in Washington, D.C., doing the March for Life.
Yeah, there's tons of people here, tens of thousands.
I don't remember what episode we're on.
Well, it's technically 34, but I guess this is like the start of season 2
You want to do it
for
that
a
way?
special episode. Sure.
All right, for the first episode of season 2 of Figure It Out, we're here in Washington, D.C. for the March for Life. March is just getting started right now, so here we go.
All right. Hey, folks, here for Figure It Out. Just started the march right now. Just had some good speakers. We had Senator Jackson, Ben Shapiro. It's good times. Hey. He's got the giggles. This Figure It Out. I have the first episode of the new season, and we started out with a very special episode.
As you can see, we're both in the same room for the first time. So that's fun. And guess where we are?
Washington, D.C.
That's right.
Chocolate City, baby.
I didn't know it was called that.
That's because you're not black.
Yeah.
Nah. But he actually is black, though. That's a lie.
Well, we're here.
Lightly.
We were here
shaded.
earlier today visiting the March for Life.
And it was awesome.
It was a blast. I could not believe how many people turned out.
Yeah. That was like, I mean, you know, maybe they have the figures of how many people there, but like, it went.
I don't know how you do it. Is you look down the street one way, as far as you can see, it's nothing but heads. You turn around, you look down the other side of the street, nothing but heads all the way down as far as the eye can see. It was hundreds of thousands.
It
was a lot.
It was special. It was really special. Like, people came out big from, you know, all the way from California, where we came from, you know, to make it here to D.C. to do this.
We met people from Ohio, people from Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Iowa
was there.
A lot of people from Michigan met.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we try to get some. My phone ran out of battery really quick because my phone's just not doing the best with battery, but was able to talk to a lot of people, but didn't have as much. We wanted to get some footage interviewing folks. That didn't happen as we had planned, but
I wanted to, but it was hard. A lot of people were there in groups.
And also, it was really compact as compared to I don't know for you, Steve, but compared to like other events like this that I've been to, like the streets were really condensed. Like,
there wasn't really a whole lot of space to have to yourself where you can have a little bit of room to have a conversation with somebody. But yeah, we did have a lot of fun though. It was awesome.
And a really peaceful rally. There was like, I mean, there was no incidents. There was no. I mean, there's some pro-abortion people towards the end, but you know, like the pro-life people really, we kept really peaceful. Just, you know, there's people like, hey, you know, just don't even engage with them. Just, you know, keep it peaceful, and
As it should be.
yeah.
You can't expect everybody to have the same opinion about everything. Otherwise, nothing would ever get done.
Right. And yeah, and that was another thing. It was good seeing them, you know, because it's so hard in this day and age to keep it partisan with such a issue.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they had, you know, senators and congresswomen and congressmen, of both sides.
Everybody handled it very well. They were very professional. There was not a lot of shit talking or anything like that.
Yeah. In fact, it was so cute. Like that's the thing about the pro-life people. They're so good spirited that like even them, like when the pro-abortion people try to
Pro-choice.
antagonize, but they're really pro-abortion. So but like when they try to antagonize, like I overheard this one girl. She's like, man, She said, I just want to tell those pro-abortion people to suck it. And I overheard her, and I was like...
That was her being nasty.
Yeah. That was her... Apparently, that was her nasty, because just the fact that I overheard her say that, and I was like, oh, yeah, you tell them. And she just got so embarrassed and, like, red in the face, and, like, she covered her mouth. And she's like, I didn't really mean all that. And it was so cute, because, like... It just shows where the spirit is of just like keeping it in love, and it's like, hey, if you had an abortion, like we're here for you. If you haven't had an abortion, good job, teach others, and the people that have, teach them too, like and not like teach them like, right. I know better, like it's not in any judgmental way, but just like we're all one human family, and like...
And I don't really lean one way or the other on it. We were discussing it a little bit. Afia calls me pro-life because my solution is to just not impregnate women.
Yeah, because
wear a condom, people.
See, yeah, Steven's pro accountability, and I was like,
fuck up, take care of it.
Yeah, and I was like, well, yeah, that's the pro life. That's pretty much the pro life stance. Is like, yeah, we're all accountable for our actions.
And there's got to be a situation though where an abortion's okay, like understandable. And don't bring up the rape shit. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, the less than 1% rape or incest.
That almost never happens. No, I'm talking about something that can happen to anybody at any time. There's gotta be situations where you're like, this is a bad idea. But there's another A word. There's another A word, and it is adoption. Give that kid away if you don't want to take care of it.
Yeah,
somebody who does care about kids will take care of it for you.
Because I have a lot of friends who were adopted. I have a lot of friends who grew up in group homes and that sort of thing. I've always been close in that situation.
It's not easy for the kid, but you're giving the kid a chance.
Yeah, because like a lot of people will try to like lie to themselves that like abortion is compassionate, but there's nothing compassionate about killing an innocent life. That's the thing that it really comes down to. That's the truth of the matter. And with my friends who didn't have families and still came out to be really good people, like it's like, all right, would you rather kill a child or have them suffer a hard childhood? Regardless, you have to admit the compassionate thing is still to let them suffer, let them have the chance at life to do something great, and many of them do. There's so many adopted children, so many children that grow up in group homes and other situations that still come out to be, such amazing light to this world. So
yeah, not a waste of space.
Yeah, with being that, like, if you believe in our Constitution, our Declaration of Independence, that everyone has the right to life, and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, but the very first one, the right to life, then no one has the right to take that away from them, because that's their right to life.
Tough to argue. That's the American way. We're sitting here aborting kids left and right. 61 million, they said. 61 million
since Roe v. Wade. Yeah.
What do you call it? Babies have been aborted, or babies.
1970, and since then, the movement has been on of marching to end this.
It was pretty inspiring. They were talking about 2016, we marched through the snow. 2014, it was below freezing. You know, they're out there no matter what. They're going to be out there marching in the thousands. Bunches of people.
Yeah, and throughout the, we'll show some
obvious
footage here of some of the event. We'll intersperse it through our talking here. And it was just an amazing thing to see. Really grateful to even be able to be a part of this. Mm-hmm. We got to hear from some people who I'm a fan of. Ben Shapiro, Congresswoman Jackson from
Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, I do.
He came on twice. I got excited when he came on the second. I was like, "Oh, he's coming back!"
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
He had a lot of good points. He was a great speaker.
Yeah.
So check out his podcast too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Steven's flight had got reined in, so he actually missed the first time Shapiro spoke. But I'll be updating him on that. I'll give him the.
It was a rough day getting across this country for him yesterday. It was not easy
because there was much rain coming here towards the way, and then coming through the air. There was a lot of snow getting here. Well, so like
my delay came from Sacramento.
Yeah,
which. I don't really want to talk shit about the Sacramento airport because I like it. It's simple. It's a nice circle loop. It's not huge and confusing. It's real basic, but a good international airport. But I should not be delayed 6 hours for weather when it's sunny, clear, not windy outside. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah, because I came from LAX.
It's ridiculous.
And
we flew into Chicago. It was so foggy I couldn't see the wing, but they managed to figure it out.
Yeah, Chicago flies and win. They know how to do it.
Not Sacramento.
Sacramento, it's sunny, and they're like, it may rain. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, it was real windy yesterday. We're gonna take it easy.
Yeah, whereas, it was actually raining when I flew over here. Yeah, and then I went.
Sunny skies for me.
Like we came up in the rain. It was a bit shaky. There was some turbulence, getting up there, but they made it through it as they always do. And then coming across it, we went into the snow. It was really beautiful to come across the country to get a witness the snow as we came through.
Everybody's so scared of flying, but when's the last time you heard of an American flight actually crashing?
It doesn't happen anymore.
It's pretty fucking rare.
It's super rare.
I hear about car accidents all the time.
Yeah,
I hear about Russian planes crashing all the time.
People are willing to jump into a car with a drunk driver when those accidents happen every single day in the thousands. But yet, like a plane, which never crashes anymore, like virtually, in the States anyway. There's people afraid of flying, and it's like, I don't know.
You shouldn't be. It's fun.
I just get amped
it was
when
his
I get
first
to fly.
time flying. He had a great time.
I get amped. Like every time we're like when it goes on that runway and it's about to go. Yeah, I just get so juiced, man. I'm like, we're about to turn into birds.
As soon as they gun it, as soon as they gun it, and we're taking off, it's like there's no looking back now.
I'm all chewing my gum. My ear's about to pop like 10 times. This is gonna be great. We're going up there.
Yeah, fly more people. It's fun. You get out of town. You make a story. A memory. Something good.
And like life is all about the adventure, and there is so much to see. It really is the United, because states everywhere else means country. And it really is the United States. Like, all you have to do to go out of the country here is go to another state. And it's so different.
It was awesome. We walked around D.C. all day, and it is nothing like California.
Thank God.
It's a whole different type of crazy.
I love my home state, but Yeah,
I understand why everybody else hates us.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun picking apart Washington D.C. today. For one, you could just be walking down the street and not realize it, but you wind up on a whole different street because they're at such weird different angles and intersections.
Like every street is on an angle, and they constantly have circles that go to the street, but they don't have circles like
I'm used to a grid, squares.
You know how most towns have a circle, and you go around the circle, you go about your business.
Turnabout, yeah. They got streetlights in the middle of the turnabout, so it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there's really, it just defeats the purpose of having circles.
We were talking so much shit.
Yeah, but it was we were poking fun.
Yeah, but visit DC, you will not have this. It's not a dull moment out here. It is it is very interesting.
There's much to do in the capital.
A whole lot of entertainment.
Yeah, much to do, and.
You don't have to actually spend any money. Just go walking around the town. You'll witness all kinds of shit. You'll walk into some random event going on, or some march going on, or some.
They constantly have things going on. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's funny. We
another thing we talked about. Yeah.
We saw some people walking over the. They're probably finding their hotels or whatever for tomorrow. Some people coming in for the Women's March tomorrow, and they're looking at us with our pro-life beanies on and stuff. They're like, am I at the right place? Like, they're kind of like giving us looks, But
women already have equal rights. Stop aborting babies.
Yeah.
Just kidding, ladies.
Yeah, you have the right to kill a child. That will make you free.
I'm all about true feminism.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
equality for all. That's what real feminism is supposed to be about. Not this extremist shit where men need to pay for the sins of our ancestors bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, and the same with the racism bullshit. Like all that.
I never had any slaves.
You really didn't. Me and this guy have been best friends for decades now. Like
what? 12 years now.
Yeah. Well, decades.
Well, over a decade.
Well, decades and druggy years. Even though
right.
I'm clean now. That's a plus. Yeah. But, I mean, life. Whew.
Right. But yeah, definitely check out DC if you ever get the chance. It is a city unlike most other cities here in the U.S.
What were some of your favorite parts of the march today, Stephen? What were some of your favorite speakers or something?
There was the congresswoman from Louisiana was probably our favorite. I think we both agreed she was a lot of fun. She was cool. She had one part in her speech where she says something like somebody or people would come up to her all the time and be like, "You're pro-life, but you're
a black Democrat."
Black Democrat.
Yeah,
and she's like, "I'm a Christian first."
Yeah, I love that. She's like, "Yeah, so what? I'm a Christian first."
She's got her priorities straight.
Yeah,
I don't remember her name, but
God over government.
I don't know how many
the other way around.
I don't know how many African American females are congresswomen in Louisiana. So it's probably the same one you're thinking of.
Yeah, it's Katrina Jackson's her name.
Oh shit. Somebody got it.
Yeah.
So my Louisianians know this. Anytime you hear me say we fight, you should say for life. So what do? We fight for life. Regardless if we're Democrat, Republican, black, white, male, female, we fight for life. We don't do it for ourselves because someone has already chosen our life. We fight for life. For those who cannot speak for themselves, we fight for life. Because it's the right thing to do. And we fight for life. Because we know that for everyone who doesn't speak out, their silence means consent. So we speak out and we fight for life. So that we're never silent on the shedding of innocent blood. I tell people in my state when they ask me, why are you a black female Democrat fighting for life. I say because I'm a Christian first. And then I tell them that Proverbs say God hates the shedding of innocent blood. There's no blood more innocent than an unborn child who's never sinned, who never knew sin. And so for them, we will continue to, together, regardless of being Democrat, Republican, black, white, male or female, we will fight for life.
And yeah, no, she's cool people. I'm actually the folk. I don't know if I told this to our podcast folk here, but I'm actually Creole. So you know, a lot of my family are from out there in New Orleans. So it was really good seeing us represented so well in that way with Congresswoman Jackson.
Yeah, she it was getting to a point where I was like, if I gotta hear another fucking speech, can we just start this damn march already? And she came on, I was like, she was pretty cool. She could have talked a little longer.
Yeah. Well, one I liked. I really liked that Vice President Mike Pence came out.
That was a surprise.
I was hyped about that because
then he introduced Donald Trump, who was not there live, but he was. He did talk to us on
the Jumbotron.
The Jumbotron. Yeah, he was on TV talking to the whole crowd. That was interesting. But we did have Mike Pence and his wife out there. They had some good stories to tell. They had good reasons to be pro-life, and so that was a little inspiring.
Yeah, and
like I said, I'm still stuck in the middle somewhere just because it's not really my fight. I just try to stay out of that shit. But if I ever do get a girl pregnant, I'm not gonna push for the abortion.
Yeah, which is really the problem. I mean,
I'll be you're gonna take care of this yourself.
Because I want to say this.
Keep doing my own thing. No, I'm just kidding. I
will
help. I'll be the dad.
I don't know how much percentage of our listeners are male versus female, but I want to be one to say that the abortion problem it starts with men still. Like even because the women have to have it, but.
And I did used to think just have her get an abortion. I talk her into it, but no, like that's not the answer.
Yeah.
That doesn't fix anything.
It's the guys pushing women into it. It's the woman's family. Oh, we're not going to be there for you. You should get an abortion. It's the guy's not going to be there for her. Who should be the main one who's going to be there for her. If he got her pregnant, then he has to be the one to step up. And it's the reason that I think one of the biggest reasons that females are experiencing this terrible thing of having to go through abortion is because the men in our society have got
count on their men.
Yeah, we've gotten really weak as men in this society, and that's what I feel like is one of the biggest proponents here to this abortion issue is that men need to man up. And I know that's like not PC to say anymore, to tell a man to be a man and like take responsibility.
But no, that wasn't PC. But I'm a white male, so like I'm always
yeah. So your opinion doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, that's a whole.
I'm just always the asshole, no matter what. It doesn't matter. I can't win. I just try to not cause any problems.
That's why he's kind of like on the side. But it's like, no, we're at the point now. We need to cause problems. We need to have no more silence about this and be like, hey, look,
that's not causing problems. That's causing solutions.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the point where we're at because too many like people will. Because I've been in this fight for a while and in the backgrounds. Stephen and I do some work with certain charity organizations here and there and such. But the point behind that is that people are gonna want to silence you about that, and
that was a big discussion today too at the rally. They were talking about a movie that's coming out. What is that, in March next month?
Yeah, with Abby Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm.
She used to be actually she was the head director of Planned Parenthood, and she stepped
she's
down.
Making a movie about all of that.
Yeah,
and they're trying to cover it up, is what she's saying. They won't advertise it at all, no matter how hard she
they're
tries.
even throttling her on social media, trying to hide it. But
yeah,
it's called Unplanned, right?
Unplanned. That is
the folks that follow me on Instagram may have seen me put a mention on it once or twice. I'll be trying to promote that more, just because the promotion of it. It'll be good to just help get the word out about it, because like regardless how you feel about it, it's like why can't people even listen to something that they may or may not agree with? Now, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey, maybe you don't agree with this. Like, hey, you could lend an ear and just
the other side. The other side isn't always an enemy. It could just be somebody with a different opinion from yourself.
Yeah,
it doesn't make him a bad person. Doesn't mean you should shut him out. It doesn't. It doesn't make him wrong. All right. You're all entitled to your opinions. We're all entitled to our opinions.
But that doesn't make your opinion right. It's still an opinion.
To force or to force out somebody because they have a separate opinion from your own is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, and that's why that was a big thing that a lot of the speakers, a lot of the Congress people were speaking about, of keeping it within love and compassion.
And they showed that today. They did a great job of doing that. They were not in any way. I never felt like there was ever going to be any sort of outbreak of violence or anything like that. It was super peaceful. These people were 100% professional. They just were out to spread the word. That was it. Yeah, it was great. It could not have gone smoother. With all those people too, it was crazy.
Yeah,
so many people.
Yeah, like probably one of the biggest rallies I've been to and the most peaceful. And that says a lot, because there.
I had no idea.
There wasn't even
everybody.
There wasn't even aggressive talking. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, they weren't. They're not they were not talking down to towards the people who were pro-choice. In any way, they were against pro-choice. And they had plenty of points and arguments against pro-choice, but they were not hateful towards pro-choice people. They're very understanding, and I think that's a super thin line that you got to be careful not to cross. And they did a good job of not crossing it.
Yeah,
it was pretty awesome.
Because that's some resistance I'll get to. I'll have some friends that oh well, if I
oh yeah,
I know you're about Christ and stuff,
and
as
soon as somebody attacks me, I just start talking shit
yeah, they're like I know you're not for abortion, but they'll go off their excuses. I'm usually just listening about it. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah, as soon as I feel attacked, I go into child mode, and I'm like, fuck you, because this and that. It doesn't have to make sense. Just sound good.
Yeah, that's why you never want to go into an argument with someone of trying to win the argument or change their mind. But it should always come from a place of all right, well, this is why I feel this way. I'll try to understand you. Can you understand me? Of really just a distinction, a clarification, and extrapolation. All right, let's clarify. This is where we agree. This is where we're different. And now let's extrapolate from that. Because you're never gonna be oh well, here, so now you need to change your mind.
Well, another part of the problem is
you only could love someone to a point. You know what I mean? You can't. You can't yell at them. Dude, no one's mind's ever been changed by you
you just get more defensive or more caged in some way. No, what was I gonna say? in situations like this, like a superheated debate, it is really good to be open-minded and be willing to compromise. That the ability to compromise is the hardest part, because you do want to win that argument, because you do think that you're right, but there's a reason why other people have different opinions, and they're not necessarily wrong either, and you have to be open to that and find some sort of middle ground that works for everybody.
Yeah, well, they have a place they're coming from the heart. You know what I mean? Like if someone
Yeah.
if someone had an
But
abortion,
my point. My point is that everybody there seemed super open to compromise. They were not aggressive or hateful towards those that didn't agree with them. They're upset. Obviously, they want things to change. That's why they're there. But the way they handled it was extremely professional. The way a rally should be handled, the way a march for something like that should be handled. It was exactly what I would expect something like that to be. So they did a good job.
Yeah, and yeah, just really, humbled and grateful to be a part of this, and
I did learn a little.
Be able to,
I'm a little more pro-life now.
Yeah, honestly, and with all that, just being able to, I mean, it's all, put your body where your mouth is, kind of thing. We thought we had someone knocking on our hotel door here, but
Just the neighbors.
Yeah,
they're like that,
Yeah, but I mean, March for Life 2019. It's been beautiful, people.
Come out with us 2020.
Yeah,
we'll try to make it happen. We're trying to do some more stuff like this. So
yeah, we'll be out there at more rallies and stuff. I mean, like we
are,
but
LA
but
or
we
Sacramento next time.
We
a little
haven't
cheaper for us, but
we haven't been able. we both kind of do this thing where we'll go and be at like rallies and that kind of thing, but we haven't been able to do one together.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, it's so important because without the right to life, you don't really have the right to anything else. So we made the effort to be able to get together.
He could have been aborted
to be with each other. Yeah, here
they could have been aborted.
Yeah,
I wish they would have been aborted.
Those noisy neighbors.
Sick of their shit.
Those noisy neighbors. Dang,
they should have been aborted. I need to talk to their parents.
No, but sanctity of life. Everyone has their word. Yeah, that's the. It's not whether your parents may not think you're worthy. Your neighbors may not think you're worthy, but regardless, we have unalienable rights that through God, you're worthy.
Only God can judge us. So, who are you to say that this should die?
Well, I said like right.
No, seriously, you're taking that chance away from somebody when you abort them. We're
the nails in Jesus' wrist, yet he still loves us. John 3:16. Like we're the nails that crucified him.
Mm-hmm.
We're his blood spilling out, and despite that, he chooses to love us every single moment of every day. So
I would have hated us.
So yeah, he said when we were his enemies, he loved us. So, I mean, if you don't
swallow that pill, people.
So if you don't believe, even if you don't believe in Jesus, if you just believe in the American way, we have those unalienable rights that your life is sacred, no matter what your parents say, no matter what your neighbors say, no matter what anyone says, you have your right to life.
It is a difficult. It's a difficult topic because in other parts of the original 10 Amendments, they talk about people having the right to to choose what they want to do and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm rambling. But the point is, like, this country is built on freedom, and the reason why abortion is legal right now is because the argument that we should have the freedom to choose. And you know what? Maybe some choices shouldn't be up to us.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like the idea either. I like the idea to choose. I like having my options. But like I said, some things shouldn't be up to us. If you fuck up and you get pregnant, that's on you. You're gonna raise that, or you should raise that kid. I shouldn't tell you what you're gonna do, because who says you're gonna listen to me? You should raise that kid. Or the father. I know a lot of single moms. We were just talking about that on the way home. I know so many single moms. Where you at, dads? You got her pregnant. That's your responsibility. You should be there for the kid just as much as she is. So,
where you at, Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got this line actually in one of my songs where I say, freedom that opposes another's freedom is not freedom, but oppression. So, like, that's the thing. Like, we all want to. You have your choices.
Yeah, there's.
But if your choices take away from another's rights, right? We all have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If you infringe on another's right to life, then it's not your right. Because rights are of that people can't infringe on your rights. They're not that doesn't. You know what I mean? Because we have duties as a human being to at the very least show common decency to one another, and more than that, really to love each other. But that's more, of course, biblical. But if you don't believe that, at least can we have human decency with one another? Because if we don't have that, then we can't have a society. Because if we don't give each other that decency and say, oh, well, hey, well, it's inconvenient to me, I have the right to take that life, well, a society can't function.
I do have a question. What do you think? Okay, they talked a lot today about life starts at conception. So... is Plan B bad? Is the Plan B pill bad? Is the morning after pill bad? Does that count as abortion?
Something to think about.
I'm just throwing shit out there. It came to my head. I'm sorry, but is that considered abortion right there? Is that something that we should be discussing too, or is that like, that sort of gray area where it's like, hey, I don't know if I'm pregnant or not. I'm just trying to make sure that nothing unplanned happens. Is that okay? Like, where do we draw the line? Obviously, we're talking about, we've been talking about the whole episode. If you know that you're pregnant and you get rid of that kid, that's clearly abortion. But is Plan B, is that bad?
I mean, but if you're taking Plan B, when you don't know you're pregnant,
I mean, you could also just chug a bunch of alcohol, just murder the baby that way. But
there's that's been done too.
Plan B pills are $50.
I mean, how much alcohol does it take to do a miscarriage?
I have no idea.
And then even then,
maybe it is
the whole thing with the miscarriage, which is obviously aside from abortion, that whole another picture here.
And could be emotionally stressful as well. If not more emotionally stressful, because you're already It's almost like the choice is taken away from you, and it's just like you're not having a kid.
Yeah, no, and I've talked to actually a few people on miscarriages, and they didn't know how to like and frame that situation of, all right, well like, because that wasn't their fault, but like they still felt the emotional weight just from that, so I mean, there's clearly something here. Like, obviously, a mother who wants her child and she's not able to have it, like that is such an emotional weight. I've talked to many women who unfortunately had to go through that. Yeah, we're gonna have to finish up on your phone. Yeah, so like, even like my mom herself actually, had to go through a miscarriage. Like that's one thing actually. It is pretty close to my heart, of women who have to go through that.
Sorry, I'm fucking this up.
Yeah. So yeah, it just shows, the gravity to like the fact that it is a life.
A lot of women go through at least one miscarriage, and that's unimaginable. I don't know how to deal with that. Like, you think about it from an emotional standpoint. One day you're about to have a kid. It's gonna grow inside of you, and like, it's a huge responsibility, but you take it on. And you're excited. You get to the point where you're like, oh, what am I going to name it and all that. And then one day you wake up and it's gone. It's not there anymore. Not only that, but it's gone in the most gruesome way. I mean...
And of that gravity, too, it shows it shows another lens of how that is a human life. The theme of the march this year was about how science, proves that there's a human life. Because like the problem with our society right now is, like, if you want the child, then yeah, it's your baby. You know what I mean? You would never go up to a 6-month pregnant woman and be like, oh, yeah, is that your embryo in there? Is that, no one talks like that. But it's only when they're trying to prove that they want abortion, they're like, oh, that's a fetus. That's an embryo.
The only time they call it a fetus is if it's about to get aborted.
Yeah.
Because a woman who's about to have a child does not have a fetus growing.
You don't go to your friend's baby shower and be like,
what's your fetus's name?
Yeah, it's like, so like the language is important. It's very funny. You only try to do that.
You don't think about that when you're talking about it, but they've engraved that so well into our brains just through years of media pushing that on you, that you get used to that idea and you don't even think about it. But we're not talking about fetuses. We're talking about unborn children.
Yeah, and that's the reality that we have to deal with, because it's an unborn child. Bottom line, like, you could call it a fetus, a baby, an embryo, like whatever stage. Like, the bottom line though is that it's human life. Whatever name you want to dictate for it, it is human life. If left unimpeded, it turns into Steven. It turns into a Faya. You know what I mean? Whether you call me a fetus or a baby,
I am a fetus.
Yeah, like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
I can call myself that. It's okay. Yeah. I can say to myself, you don't call me a fetus. Don't you dare call me a fetus.
But yeah, regardless of the name you give it, it's a human life. Bottom line, like that's the truth of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, trees don't turn into humans.
Mm-hmm.
Seals don't turn into humans. Dolphins
people
don't turn into humans.
do that with everything. Okay, think about on a farm. You got to kill your pig. You don't name that pig because you don't want to kill something that you gave a name to.
Yeah, no,
it's the same exact thing. By calling it a fetus,
back when I used to
makes
work
it easier
on a
to
farm,
get rid of it.
Back when I used to work on farms, I had a buddy who came into that dilemma, and you know, because some of his pigs, you know,
ready to kill Cletus.
Some of them they had fattened him up, and you know, for you know the food and everything, and the other ones, you know, like they were close to him, like, and he named the pig and everything, and he's like. And like he told us, he's like,
you start to recognize their personalities and all.
He's like,
and then it's like, oh, I don't know if I can anymore.
I can't kill this pig. I named him. You know?
Don't name your pigs, farmers. Don't name your pigs.
No,
y'all already know.
And
what am I telling you?
And that's the thing of.
But that's the same exact thing when they call. An unborn baby a fetus, that's dehumanizing it.
They're dehumanizing it.
And making it easier to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's the thing with language.
How old is the word fetus? I bet that's not very old. I bet they just came up with that within the last like 50, 60 years. As soon as they figured out that there was a time when where a baby or an unborn baby could do this, could do that.
It's definitely within the last 100 years.
It probably came after Roe versus Wade. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised at that. I'll have to look that up. But that's a really good point that you bring up. Yeah.
Yeah, we found a way to dehumanize an unborn child, and that made it easier to get rid of them.
Yeah, no, it's not a baby at this point. It's a fetus.
Yeah, it's not alive yet.
Okay, but it's a human life.
It was gonna be alive until you killed it.
Yeah, well, the thing is living. Like,
it's not funny, but it is like, the way I worded it.
I mean, like, because what makes a human like that? We have our own thoughts on it. The neurological things are there at 3 weeks. The heartbeat is there at 3 weeks.
I'm sure the soul's in there too.
But the soul's there before that.
Science will prove it. I'm sure.
I mean, science. At the very least, science proves that at conception, it's a life. I believe in the Bible, so I believe that before we were in the womb, He knew us, as Scripture says, But at the very least, science proves that at conception, it's a human life. So we have
created something, and now you're getting rid of it.
We have to grip with that reality.
Think about that. It's not a fetus.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? Because you don't go to your friend's baby shower and say
baby chatter. Yeah, it's my shit. love my baby chatter.
Yeah, you don't go to your friend's baby shower and be like, hey, are you keeping your fetus? Like, no one would do that. No one. Literally 0 people. So
and you can use the stem cell argument. There's other ways to get stem cells.
Yeah, actually, Shapiro talked about that on the speech that you missed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. At the first one, he's
well, there you go.
He's like, yeah, you can.
I didn't hear it. I just said it. I just thought it on my own, and it just happened to be something Shapiro already thought up. So
he wasn't there.
I was not there. I'm just saying.
He's just a really smart guy as well.
Don't build me up. I got enough of an ego already. All right, I don't need that.
But yeah, man. Regardless of the fact, human lives, March for Life, DC 2019. It's been a blessing. We'll be here for 2020, as well as throughout 2019.
We're gonna try to figure out 2020 for the March Life, but we are gonna look for some more events like this around the United States
throughout 2019.
Yes, and yeah, we're looking forward to being there too. So
Yeah.
this was an awesome experience. I learned a little bit.
Also,
I got to understand a little bit more about how the pro-life people
the pro-life
look
people,
at things.
as if he doesn't look at things that way. He's like, yeah, people should take accountability for their actions. They shouldn't just kill something when they chose to have sex.
I know, right? Like, I've been pro-life this whole episode, but I won't claim it.
He just doesn't want to get the flack that I get. He sees he sees the hate messages I get.
I'm scared I'm gonna get somebody pregnant, and then I gotta, deal with it. Just kidding. I mean, take care of it, of course. Him or her. Just kidding. But seriously, I did learn quite a bit, especially about why pro-life people are pro-life. Like, it makes a little bit more sense to me now. It was good. It was a pretty awesome experience, and I got to get out of town, got to go across the country and visit DC. DC, y'all are crazy. You scared the shit out of me a little bit, and I lived in Fresno for 9 years, so.
Yeah, what can scare you when you live in Fresno?
Not quite Stockton, but it's close. Washington D.C. is a whole nother breed. Back to that, but it is an entertaining breed. I will say that. I watched so many people honk at people for no reason, other than the fact that they were stopped. But they were stopped because the car in front of them was also stopped.
And the car behind them was like, "Oh, we ain't having that.
No.
The light is green.
Shit.
The light is green, you MFer.
Y'all better go."
Yeah.
There's no room to go. That's why they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. I saw that all day today.
I can't go. The car
they say the traffic in DC is one of the worst in the world, and I understand it now.
Fact.
I saw it. LA understands traffic way better than DC does. I mean, but part of the problem is there's so many.
A lot of my life.
There's so many of these
DC
demonstrations,
actually beats
and
it.
like we're just marching through the streets with hundreds of thousands of people and being like, "Hey, fuck you! We're doing something here. Drive around us and figure out how to get to work, on a different route." But
if any of those people who were trying to get to work, they were late.
Yeah, they were.
The traffic was a mess today.
And these demonstrations are going on all the time out here. So it is always a mess in traffic in Washington, D.C. And that is why Washington, D.C. has worse traffic than L.A. Not because they have more people.
But in all given honesty, the Women's March tomorrow is only going to have like 10 people.
Feminism.
We saw the 10 people that were showing up to the Women's March tomorrow.
Hey, feminists, they were talking shit about you today. They were talking shit about you today.
Here's the thing. Any self-respecting man or woman wants women and men to be equal.
Yeah.
Because that does good for everyone.
Yeah.
But the feminism nowadays,
which makes any human, any average human being a feminist.
Yeah. By those standards. But by a feminist, right? But it's not the feminism that we're seeing.
But you ask a hardcore feminist what feminism is. It's about making men pay for all the pain that they've put women through over all these centuries. We need to learn a lesson.
I thought it was just creating a whole new society for only women, because
that's even scarier.
Because they could have a society
that's worse.
They could just That'd be like babies into the utero, and
that'd be like that one episode of Rick and Morty where what was the name of that planet? They went to another planet, and all the men.
This nigga's talking about Rick and Morty.
Sorry, Yeah, all the men, they just go around fucking these fake sex robots, and they
Austin
inseminate
Powers.
them, and then the women use that to create babies. I forgot my point though.
The woman shall create babies.
But that's that's what it was. Feminism. Yeah, that's not real feminism. That's some extreme shit where men have to suffer because
it's an evil.
Because women in the past suffered.
It's an evil. Modern day feminism is tearing men and women apart, and
it's making it harder for real feminists to defend themselves.
Anything
too.
that
imagine that
puts women and men
think about
apart
that.
is evil because men and women need each other.
Yeah, think
about
it.
Here's another evil.
All of you fake feminists, you guys are causing problems for real feminists.
Well, no, I want to go on a rant here too of that. Actually, anything that splits men and women is evil.
It is. We're supposed to be together.
Yeah, no, and further from that, anything. So therefore, that's just independence is evil. All this like I'm independent. I'm so independent. Like as if that's something to achieve. No, we're an interdependent species. We work. We grow interdependently. It's a give and a take, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's independent is like I'm the one all be all.
Well, yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
I won't say that.
So
I won't say I'm down for independence.
Yeah. So I want to shit on independence
as
right
an
now, too.
individual. I'm not down for independence.
It's about
but I do like my own space. I do like my own space. I like to have some time to myself, or a lot of time to myself.
Right. You can have your own space, but also by having your own space, that's so that you can then better be beneficial with other people. Right?
I suppose, yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm a better person around other people when I have my own space to myself for a little while, and I get to clear my thoughts on my own. I go through it. I sift. I seriously at the end of my day. I work 2 jobs, and at the end of my day, I go through all the interactions that I have with everybody. That actually means something to me. I go through those interactions, and I think about what I could have done better. What I did right, and things that I can just take out of the whole equation. How can I be a better person?
And Steven's a freaking saint. He's always working on being a better person. He's like, I'll say this right here for the podcast. Steven's a much better person than I.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would
appreciate it.
I would say Steven's a saint. You guys, if you met. Like, he's the type of person who would just do something for you because you're another person. Like,
no, you have to be a good person. I have to recognize that you're a good person. Then I might do something good for you.
But if
you're a piece of shit.
No, you're all good people to him. He'll joke like that and talk about, everyone's a piece of shit. But really, he'll do something for everyone. That's how he is.
He's full of shit.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to expose Steven's niceness here on this podcast.
I know.
But it is the start of season 2.
Game up. No, I do think that people should do good. Like, you should be aiming to make the world a better place. Like, that should be the goal. How can I improve on this world? Okay, everybody looks for a purpose. Everybody wants to find a purpose in this world, and there's 7 billion people plus on this world, and so it's really hard to find a purpose here. But even the most minuscule positive thing is better than anything negative. All right, anything positive that you do for one person, for a group of people, for the entire world is better than anything negative that you can do. So think about that the next time you're like, you know what? Fuck everybody. I'm going to go do whatever the hell makes me happy. Think about that the next time you go to do something good.
That part. That's why I want to end on one of the Phoebe in Wonderland quotes. There are no small parts, only small actors. Every single person on this planet, whether you're the president or the janitor, you have the biggest role in this universe. It doesn't matter whether you're the president or the janitor, you have the biggest role in the universe. There are no small parts.
There's only small misconception. So, everybody thinks that they're...
You could think that, oh, hey, I'm just a teacher. I'm just a janitor. I don't really matter much. No.
You interact with people every day. You meet new people all the time. How you interact with those people, how you touch those people's lives affects how they touch the next person they meet. Affects how they affect the next person they meet. If you bring a negative vibe to a person, they're going to go to the next person with a negative vibe already in them because of you. So you could be negative or you could be positive. You could put a smile on that person's face, then maybe they put a smile on the next person's face, and that person puts a smile on the next person's face.
You can act within love or without love.
It matters, all right? Everything you do matters.
Yeah, as someone who,
it's been hard for me because
we're actually on bad, shaky terms. But with my producer, actually, I'll quote him and say every single thing that we do in this life echoes for eternity. So, just knowing that your actions, your being has that much meaning, like knowing that you echo for eternity.
You think about
that's who you are.
Think about chaos theory. Think about multiverse theory. All right. Maybe there isn't a bunch of universes, but
multiverse.
But with even then, the multiverse theory still is in effect because you get to decide how the rest of everything happens based on how you handle each situation. You can be a negative person and cause problems for everybody, and just be a total waste of space, or you can be a positive person, try to put a smile on everybody's face, try to look on the bright side for everybody that's having a bad day.
Well, that goes into that whole thing of, you're not accountable for what happens to you, but you are accountable to how you react to it, right?
Yeah, exactly. But my point is, yeah, you can sit there and be like, you know what? I have no effect on this world. There's 7 billion people in this world. Who gives a shit about me? So fuck everybody, and I'm just gonna be an asshole to everybody.
But there's no.
It's
small
real
actors.
easy and it's a lot of fun.
There's no small actors.
But being good, being positive, trying to put a smile on that next person's face that you see, that has a positive effect on every person that person interacts with after that. All right, and so in that way, just having a positive outlook, looking at the glass half full, trying to bring that to the next person you see, that is a way to positively affect the world. Not just you, not just the person you're talking to. It affects everybody else that they talk to too, and everybody else that you talk to too.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for the March for Life. Just
do you know how many people I talked to today?
Difference.
You know how many people I was negative towards today? Yeah,
it was a positive day.
Yeah, we had a blast. We had fun. We were positive towards everybody. We tried to bring that positive energy to everybody that we talked to, and that it had a positive effect on the world. You won't see it. You may not see it, but it does happen. And like I said, anything positive is better than anything negative. Do we zoom out? Why are we all blurry?
Yeah. Oh, we hit a little bit. Oh, there it
is. All right. Sorry, folks.
But yeah, and that's what I'm not even, one of the, I'm really against this whole new social media all positive vibes thing.
Well,
I'm about
because I've had that whole same discussion
like,
before with the pay it forward discussion. Same idea. Which is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Which comes from a great book.
Right.
The book came first.
Of course it did. It always does.
But yeah, of just
nobody writes a book about a movie.
But for me, it's like that all positive vibes thing all the time. I think that's a very negative thing.
It's not easy.
Because all positive vibes wouldn't be truthful. It's like you can feel negative things, but as I said, it's not about what happens to you, it's how you react to it. So like you could be truthful and like, hey, this is negative. Tell the good as the good and the bad as the bad. And if you be truthful and honest, and
I still feel like that's being positive.
I guess.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I guess I'm secretly a positive person.
Don't tell nobody.
Don't tell anyone.
Afaya's.
Yeah, it's funny. People have this like impression about people who like follow Christ or believe in the Bible that it's like that we're these judgmental like waggy tag, like, hey, we're saying this is right and this is wrong, so that means we're judging you. And it's like, but if you ever like encountered me or met me, like you would know I'm pretty like I'm probably one of the most easygoing, like happy-go-lucky people you could come across.
Yeah, and like
it's
I talk a lot of shit and I make a lot of jokes about stuff that's kind of dark and I can come.
We
off
love dark
as
humor
as a pessimist.
I've
but
always
really I'm an optimist.
Yeah,
I am.
It's just that we've always I think me and Steven both have always liked more like wince. That's real truth humor rather than ha-ha humor. Because ha-ha humor is like really cheap, really like, hey, I'm doing this to make you laugh. Rather, wince humor is like, it's like, hey, it could be a little dark, a little gruesome, but it's like, it's funny because it's true though. Yeah. So that's the fact of the matter. And yeah, you should just spread that kind of truth in order to, because I mean the false stuff, the like, you could be there for your friends like, oh yeah, everything's so happy. But what's that in the long run? Like you don't need more friends that are gonna lie to you. I mean, or I don't know. Maybe you think you do, but you'll see. Rather, it'd be nice to have friends that are gonna tell you the truth.
Better to learn sooner than later. All right, and really think about all of this because I know it's easy to hear. And it's like I've heard a lot of the stuff that I've said and that Afaya said, I heard growing up, like my teenage years.
I told you once, I told 20s, you 1,000 times.
Adults would tell me these things, and I didn't. I was like, "You're an idiot," But now I look back on it, and I'm like, they were trying to help me. They're trying to tell me something. They were onto some. Guess what? We're both in our 30s now. We're trying to help you out. We know a little bit more about what we're talking about. Should you be younger viewers? Should you be younger viewers? If you're older, hopefully you're on the same page. And if not, try to be a little more open minded to what other people have to say. Even if they're wrong, there's a point to what they're trying to say.
And there's a proverb to that too. If you love knowledge, then did I say it backwards? If you love, it's around this. If you love knowledge, then you accept reproof. But if you're against that, then it's foolish.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't the verbatim words, but
it's all right.
Everyone knows Proverbs 12 there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like we've been rambling on quite a bit now.
Yeah. So, final thoughts on the march today.
For all y'all that weren't here, I hope you guys can come out next year, even if you don't necessarily agree with what they have to say.
Yeah, just come out.
I feel like
hear.
you should listen to what they have to say. I like I said, I'm not necessarily pro-life or pro-choice, but I learned a lot about why pro-life is pro-life today, and it was a good experience. I enjoyed it. So yeah, if you ever have a chance, it's not just in Washington D.C. I'm sure. If you ever have a chance to go to any rally like that, go for it. Learn something. Get to know what other people
are
think.
saying.
Yeah, how they feel about things. Even if you disagree with
you never want to be stuck within your own thought bubble.
Understand why it's important to them. You know, and it is really important to these people that you are pro-life as well. These are some diehard people that were out here today. We came to make a podcast, but the rest of these people, they really came because they felt like they were making a difference and it meant something to them. And like I said, I learned a lot. I enjoyed it. I like learning new perspectives, so that was awesome. Yeah, just get out there, get to know new people, get to know new perspectives, and that'll just make you more open-minded at the end, and hopefully a more positive, more productive human being.
Well-rounded, all that stuff.
All that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I mean, obviously it's something dear to my heart. I help with a few organizations here and there. But yeah, I mean, it's great having, one of my best friends here take part in this with me, and really just get the opportunity to learn so much more. I mean, Ben Shapiro, he's a sharp guy. Congresswoman Jackson, as we said, we really loved her.
VP.
Yeah,
VP.
and I'm a big fan of Mike Pence.
He came through today with his wife. They were awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. To get to see Mike Pence in person and give his testimony.
It was a surprise too. Nobody knew he was coming.
Yeah, they didn't tell any of us that he was.
Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen next year? They gotta one up themselves, right?
Yeah,
so maybe Donald Trump will be through.
Yeah, they gotta bring Donald Trump next year to beat that.
Come on, DT.
Yeah. But yeah, regardless, it was just good to learn from so many other people and really. Yeah, just keep learning in this journey. Regardless of what you're taking is like journey and adventure. I mean, that's something everyone loves. It may be hard, it may not be, but journey and adventure. I mean, because if come on, live. You're alive, live. Take the journey. And
yeah, look at us. I got 2 jobs. I found a way to make it out here.
Yeah,
maybe I don't have 2 jobs anymore, but
I've got 6 jobs. I'm doing this and that. But yeah, regardless, if you another person is never the enemy. But to me, a pro-choice, a pro-abortion, a pro-taking a baby out of a mother's womb and dismembering it, I'm
that's
obviously,
your thing, I mean,
I'm obviously very against that, right? I'm very much pro-life, but regardless, I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to give love to anyone in that frame of thought.
Look, if I ever get some girl pregnant that I don't think we can raise a kid well together, I'm not thinking abortion. I'm thinking adoption, or find that kid a family that can be supportive towards them. Obviously, if you can't raise this kid with whoever you're with, then you probably shouldn't. But that doesn't mean that kid doesn't deserve to live.
Yeah.
So think about that next time. Not even next time. Just think about that. Hopefully there isn't a next time.
Yeah. Well, this has been a longer episode than most, but I mean it is a really important topic to, right to life really comes before any other, right?
I think everybody has plenty of opinions on this, so it's easy to go an hour on one of these. I mean, but we could go longer if we wanted to.
Yeah, thank you for listening. We'll be coming soon with more episodes as we divulge into more rallies and really come into form here. But just make sure you take that time to remember that other people aren't your enemies. Like we're enemies to spiritual wickedness. We're enemies to evil. Like someone may sin, and so we should hate that sin, but never the sinner. So remember that we're not each other's enemies, and that however you feel on something, we to take that moment to still love each other. So
people say easier said than done, but that doesn't mean it's not doable. All right.
Yeah, it is easier said than done.
It takes some effort, though,
yeah,
and
it takes effort. Exactly.
I failed plenty of times. I'm still trying. I'm trying to be better.
Yeah. We fell, but Jesus accepts us. So remember that as we fall. So you don't have by a lot of mercy, right?
I know I'm a Jew, but accept Jesus.
Yeah, the Jew, of course, the Jews too. Like,
right.
It
was a joke.
Shapiro's my boy.
Shapiro, it was a joke.
Shapiro, and whether and so to be like a bit like head nudge, like other people, they may not realize it, but what's pulling that toe is God's grace through Christ, and that's how I believe it works through. Shapiro, he'll have his thoughts on that, but God's pulling you through, buddy, through Christ, as all of us,
for sure.
So thank you. God bless.
Thanks for watching.
This has been a great journey here to DC.
Hope we were helpful.
Life and adventure. Keep adventuring, people.
Yeah, like I said, hope we were helpful in some way, because otherwise, why are we here?
And this is the first episode of the new season. It's technically episode 34, but this is episode 1.
We're going to call it episode 1, season 2.
God bless, love and light. I believe you.